Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm going to be showcasing you guys some super duper, like, hyped up, hot, spicy, fire DRAGONMAID duels where I paired this deck up against some of the best, and it did not disappoint at all. You guys should be on this deck. DRAGONMAIDs are so fire. I just been barely started playing them this week, and I'm already so good with this deck. It's crazy. Like the learning curve on it, you know, it's more like, I guess you could say, about like hindsight, resource management, because the deck's already going to give you follow-ups inherently just by reading the cards and doing what they say. But boy, oh boy, when you guys see these duels, you guys are going to be like, dang, it looks like he's going to lose. All these duels, a lot of these duels were really epic because of my comebacks off of like one card, getting a full field and an entire hand back off like one card. There'll be so many times you guys see in these duels where like it just looks like I'm losing. Like even one of my favorite duels against Altergeist, he opened up so insane and it looked like I was gonna lose. I outgrinded him to the point where he had like no marionetters left, like nothing. And like Altergeists are grindy. Like I'm just like outgrinding like all these decks, you guys. Like it's so good. And I'm like sometimes I just overpower them with sheer aggression, and like my boards that I set up are just super duper optimal. So I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna get into the duels. The first duel is gonna be versus invoked Dragma, so I'll try to do the more meta relevant ones. Like I'll showcase, honestly I do want to show like the plunder duel because like I love plunder patrol. I did end up getting the W. So I beat plunder, I beat striker, beat Orcus, I beat Orcus again, I beat Numeron Eldritch. As you guys see too, how these some of these, well, most of them only go to game 2. I 2-0'd them. I 2-0'd megaliths. Oh snap, I don't want to show that one yet. That's an Orcus duel. What else? I 2-0'd Numeron Eldritch. I 2-0'd invoked Dragma. Dragon Link, I beat Dragon Link, but we went to game 3. I 2-0'd Dragma Necros. I 2-0'd Altergeists. I lost to Dragma Dinos in game 3. Conductor is way too strong. Isn't that funny? Like out of all the decks, you know, Dragma Dino is one of the ones that I really did lose to. This is another Dragma Invoke duel, but he scooped. I put Y because it was questionable why he scooped. Crusadia Dragon Link. Alright, so I got a lot to show. I might not be able to show all of them, but I'll definitely try to show the relevant ones, and then the ones I feel like you guys are going to really enjoy, especially the Plunder Patrol duel, because I just love Plunder Patrol, you guys know. So pause. So Invoke Dragma, his opening hand has 1 hand trap and 2 starter cards. My opening hand has 2 hand traps and 1 starter, but this starter through Ash or Imperm, because I just follow up with Changeover to summon Shao, or Show, however you want to pronounce it. So my hand plays through Imperm if he Imperms her. And then I have Ash and Imperm for hand traps to like try to stop him. So both our hands are good. Like they can both be better, but like to have, you know, a decent amount of starters in both hands, and also to have like a hand trap or 2, both our hands are good. So just gonna press play now. So I'm in a normal kitchen. He doesn't Imperm there. So I pitch Parlor. The reason why I pitch Parlor is because I'm getting ready to snowball on my turn. So what I want to do is use Show to summon Parlor and then use Parlor's effect to dump. And that's going to set my grave up even further. As you guys are going to see, I'm going to activate Show's effect in standby. He's going to Imperm it. So he saved his Imperm. Really smart. So then I'm just going to summon House. I'm going to get Parlor. I'm going to use her effect to dump Chamber. So that way I can use House to target her and then summon Chamber. So I grab my Hospitality for next turn. So now I'm just sitting on Imperm and Ash. And if he tries to go to battle phase, I'm going to just like machine gun his board. Pause. So you guys are probably going to wonder why I ashed Alistair. So the reason why I ashed Alistair and didn't Imperm him is because of the fear of invocation. Since I don't know any other cards that are in his deck, all I see is Alistair, so all I can assume is that it's invoked. You can already guess his Dragma most of the time, yeah, sure. So that's why, again, it's also really good to hold the Imperm, because like sometimes it's Ecclesia, sometimes it's Maximus. You know, not everybody plays around like people having like extra deck cards for it. Sometimes Maximus, then you need the impermanence for Maximus. But also at the same time, me ashing Alistair, if he has invocation, at least this way, when I Imperm him and he has invocation, the Ash is useless now because Makaba is the field, but at least now keeping Imperm, if Makaba still sticks on the field, I have Imperm to counter Makaba, which is really good, so like I could hold him at bay. But I didn't see his hand was like this gas, because his hand's gas. Like he's gonna just push through that Imperm like it's nothing anyways. But that's my mindset. And if you guys are wondering like, oh, why don't you play around triple tactical talents, you know, or anything like that? I don't know that he's playing that card. All I can do is play around what I know. The only information I have been given right now is that this dude plays invoke cards. So in my mindset, he's more likely to have invocation in his hand than he is to have any of those other shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because all the information I have right now is that he plays invoke. So I feel like my play is smart because I'm only going off what I'm given. You can sit here and play what if, and if, or but all day, but like, honestly, all I know for right now is he's playing invoke. But then he reveals he's playing Dragma, so I imprint his Ecclesia. He follows up in a deer. He's just nice. He's gonna pop my house with the Elder, and he's gonna go for Maximus. Very risky, but I don't have anything in my extra deck. I'm probably gonna throw one Elder Entity in there if I can find space, just so that people get punished for trying to do this to me. So on my following turn, I'm getting ready to snowball again. So you guys see my hand is just slowly filling up. Not even slowly, it fills up a lot. And also keep in mind that he was very, very cautious of not entering the battle phase. Do I have any high levels? Yeah, I had Ernest, but honestly I couldn't tag into Ernest anyways. But as you guys see, he didn't enter the battle phase, which was really smart. And honestly, he couldn't beat over anything anyway, so there's no point, to try to give me anything. So now I'm starting my turn up. I'm gonna bounce change over to hand so I can get Chamber to hand, so I can normal summon her again. And you guys are gonna see how much this deck plus is. You can go like plus 4 or 5. Like I'll show you. If I have time, I'll show you guys a video of just a test hand where I did just Chamber on herself, just Chamber by herself. I used no other like Dragon Maids in my hand except Chamber, and she turned by turn 3, Chamber had gotten I don't know how much. It's just crazy. Like one Chamber just gets you so far, one Parlor gets you so far. So I'm gonna summon Heretic. He negated the Chamber with Flare Release, so now I'm going to try to do a Guard Dragon combo. He's going to summon Winda, so I just choose to add to hand instead. Now I have no choice but to fuse off with this Seals of Spheres and my Parlor to summon House, so that way I can kill his Winda. And then on main phase 2, I'm going to activate House Vitality. And now I'm going to use Parlor to dump Nurse, so that way on his standby phase, I'm getting ready to snowball again. So, and this is safe on standby because it plays around Fleur de Lis, so good thing these effects happen that way. And I use Nurse to get Chamber, so you guys see, I just keep constantly getting follow-ups all the time. That's why I think this deck's really good. You guys should be on this because this deck always has a follow-up and it's able to OTK out of nowhere. Like when I say out of nowhere, it doesn't even look like it sometimes. So you guys see he flared on my house. So I did make a huge mistake here. My tag outs in battle phase, these should have been in attack position. The reason being is because now Fleur de Lis is the only one that can attack over any of my monsters. And since there's 3 of them, he can only attack over 2. And if he leaves his house if he doesn't crash and he leaves house, next turn I could just normal Dragon Maid, bounce it to hand with changeover, and use her effect to start popping because she's not once per turn. So I could just clear his whole board if he doesn't get rid of house. He does crash into her, but I wish I summoned these in attack because that way I'd take less damage. I don't get OTK'd, but still, just to mitigate damage is just really important, just in case, you just don't want to leave it to chance. So he's going to drop my life points really low because that was a brain fart on my behalf, not summoning my dragons in attack position so that Fleur de Lis is the only one that can attack over him. So this is definitely going to be a huge comeback for me, so I'm going to activate Hospitality. He summons Construct. I'm going to bring out House so I can get ready to start machine gunning his board, but he's going to Valor my Parlor. So I'm like, alright, bet. Changeover, bounce the Parlor. House, pop. And Ernest is going to special summon Chamber. Chamber is going to search for Welcome. Welcome's going to grab the Larper, the Dragon form, so I could summon Shell. That way, now I'm going to enter battle phase. Chamber's going to bounce. And I'm going to use House to pop the Saint. And then I'm just going to attack over the threatening monsters. So, you guys see, I'm coming back on him. You guys will see this a lot in these duels with my Dragon Maids that I make comebacks all the time. Even when I'm, really losing, I'm super far behind. One card gets me way farther ahead than my opponent is. And as you guys see, I took complete control of the duel. Not only did I remake my board after he broke my entire board because he killed House and my other 2 dragons. Now you guys see my next turn I have a completely full field and I have follow-ups in my hand and I already have more cards than him. So I'm already beating him just in resources and he can't get aggressive on me because he needs his battle phase to do that. He has no effects that can be used to try to stop me because Show is a negator there. So if he uses Maximus, the problem is if he uses Alistair, he's good. But he's definitely out of cards to dump off Maximus because I haven't seen any invokes. So you look in his extra deck, all that's left is invoke cards. So Maximus is done. So if he normals Alistair, it gets negated. Probably I have no choice because Meltdown's up. and now he can't really do anything with these cards, so he just loses no matter what. And he enters battle phase. I'm just gonna pop his construct with house, and then he just scoops. So invoked Dragma, that's game 1. Game 2, so this was definitely a 2-0 for my Dragon Maids. I'm really happy that this deck doesn't disappoint. So you see my opening hand, I have Evenly Ash, and really, my hand's nice. And then he has a 1 hand trap, 2 call buys, and only 1 starter. So this time his hand's fragile, but he has call buys. If it was Imperm, he would just be like passing turn with nothing, just but an Ash and some call buys. But he does have call buys. I'm gonna wait to see the Ouster, because you know, just like I'm kind of scared of Gamma sometimes. I'm gonna Ash and he's gonna call by it, so I'm like, alright, bet. He's gonna summon Makaba here, and he's gonna set call by and pass with a dead Ash because he called by mine. So all he has for interrupts is call by and Makaba. I didn't know the back rows to call by, so here I'm gonna explain why I did what I did, because you guys are gonna question what I did. So I can't use Lurper to bait Makaba because I need a high level dragon to do what I need to do, and I don't want to risk wasting my battle phase just to get this back to hand. What I want to try to do is take care of the threats and then summon Shao. So what I do here is I actually use my Evenly to see which card he'll keep, so I can Lightning Storm the other one, because my hand's so fragile, as you can see, that it loses to 1 interrupt. So I don't want to waste Lurper and Makaba, because now like it's really risky, because like if that trap is anything good, like punishment especially, as soon as I normal my Dragon Maid, it's just gonna get punished, and now I can't get Larper back, so I bait Makaba, but then I lose like everything, and you know, I'm just too far behind now, and he has Alistair next turn, so I have to use Lightning Storm and Evenly, and just hope that he doesn't have like an effect veiler. So I'm gonna Evenly, now this seems like it's not punishment, I Lightning Storm, now I go Chamber, I did that because my hand's just way too fragile, then I go Changeover into Shao, and I'm gonna bounce back my chamber, so I have cards in hand. Standby phase, I'm gonna start snowballing again. The snowballing with this deck is just so real. Chamber's gonna get hospitality, but he's gonna Ash it. I'm like, bet, I don't even negate that, I'm not worried, I'm just good. So now he's gonna activate Nadir. I have to negate that because he could just send Elder, and then this is gonna be baited no matter what. So I just negate it, and I'm like, alright, go ahead and normal Ouster, because at least now I have house up. So when you normal Ouster, if you go into Makaba, start a battle phase, you're gonna lose Makaba's negate to house, and then I'm just gonna bounce her back to hand for follow-up, so I'm gonna kill you next turn. If you summon for a trio, it's gonna get popped. So there's no situation where he wins, even if he summons the Aguadis and just pops house in main phase. As soon as he enters battle phase, I'm just gonna return her to hand and summon. If I have to summon a D, I summon a D. I don't get OTK'd. I already have follow-ups. I'm getting chamber back to hand, changeover. I can search hospitality, get kitchen. I'm gonna win no matter what. So I'm good with negating Disciple, because I know his other card in hand is Alistair. And as you guys can see, I've already deduced all the factors, and there's no way he was gonna win that. So moving forward to the next one. Dragon Maid. Oh yeah, I did get some duels against Infernoble too. So the next one I'll show is against Sky Striker. So his hand's like, he doesn't have access to Ray. He's gonna top deck Rose though, so like now his hand's gonna be good. But right now his hand's not looking that great. He has like 1 hand trap, a couple striker cards. My hand is like okay. I will say not having any high level dragons makes this kind of like, ooh, you know. So I'm definitely going to have to finesse a little bit to get my hand to work properly. So I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Chamber. He's going to let it resolve. I'm going to get Hospitality. He's going to Ash the Hospitality. Then I'm just going to call by the Ash because I need this to resolve so I can have something for myself. Summon Parlor, dump her dragon form. Use her effect to dump cleanup. And then I summon Spear and pass. This might not look like much, but watch what happens with this 1 spear. So he's just gonna hit Ray off, like he rips Ray off of area. So on the summon of Ray, I didn't know he had Rose in hand. I'm gonna chain Heretic Spears. What I'm gonna do is summon the Amorphage, so that way I buy myself a turn. And my follow-ups are there. I have Cleanup and Parlor for next turn, so I have follow-ups. So what I want to do, even if I was playing combo, I just want to stick the Amorphage. I'd probably wait till my opponent commits a little bit to a Link 2 or 3, or maybe he'll just go straight to battle phase. Sometimes people do that, and because a lot of people don't know I'm playing Amorphages, the moment they go to battle phase and then they try to attack this to bait it so they don't have to play around the bounce, I summon the Amorphage, and now their whole turn ends because they can't go into their extra deck and they already wasted their battle phase. So like this card by itself is just so good, you guys. And it also helps me because it summons my Dragonmaids, which just snowballs out of control. Like one Heretic turns into OTK next turn, which is crazy. So I'm going to bounce Ray. He can chain its effect, but I'm just going to return whatever link he summons. So I put up Goliath, and in phase, I'm going to go Cleanup for Chamber for Hospitality, and she gets bounced because Cleanup's effect. So Cleanup is so broken. Like this deck, almost every Dragonmaid card is like a +1 or 2 or 3. And not only do they plus, but as you're plussing, the same cards that you used to plus with go back to your hand so that you can keep plussing every turn. Every turn, every turn, every turn. And you recycle your fusions, you recycle your cards from grave, you can recycle everything in this deck. It's so good. Like, this deck's just so broken. Honestly, it's way better than I thought it was, and I'm definitely going to be playing this deck. I'm not even like scared to play competitive. I'll play it competitive. So as you guys see, I Hospitality for Parlor, send another dragon form, and then start a battle phase. I'm going to go into Larper, which is Parlor's dragon form, and another Larper. I'm just going to attack Rose, punch for 27. In a battle phase, I'm going to summon Parlor. And all I'm going to do, as you guys see, I searched Cleanup. You guys might wonder why I searched that. This card's a compulse. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting my opponent in a position where he basically can't attack over Goliath, which is really, really good. Because like as long as Goliath's up, so like if he uses Widow Anchor here just to negate Goliath, and then he normals Ray and then goes into a Sky Striker link, I'm just gonna clean it up, you know, in battle phase. So like no matter what, Goliath just like it's safe. It's gonna stick there. And like even if he outs Goliath now, I'm so far ahead, he's getting OTK next turn because he just doesn't have enough to keep up. So press and play, you guys are gonna see what happens. He's gonna normal Ray, enter battle phase. So like I activate Parlor and he's gonna chain Droplet. I'm gonna chain Cleanup and I'm just gonna bounce. And now he's stuck. So you guys, this is an infinite loop right here. You guys are going to see. So I'm going to Chamber to get Welcome to grab Cleanup. Now, every single turn, I'm going to be able to bounce his Ray and then add the Cleanup from graveyard to hand. What I did was really smart. I put my opponent in a position where he just cannot win the duel. Like, it's just very unlikely. He has to top deck like Afterburner or something. So like, it's going to be really, really hard to keep up because now I have Droplets and Cleanup. And as you guys see, I dumped downtime so I could bounce it, so I have 2 bounces every turn. Because next turn I'm just going to return it to hand. And then start a battle phase, you know, I tag out, and then I'm going to bounce his Ray. And he just gives up, because like, there's no way. He's just way too far behind. You guys saw how fat my hand was. Dragon Maids. So I sided evenly in Lightning Storms against Strikers, and even if he makes me go first, I'm just going to pass if I see any one of those in hand. Because normally Striker wants to go second these days, because it basically makes your deck more consistent, so that way Hayate can actually turn into a pseudo engage. Not as strong, but you still search any Striker card with her and Kagari. So I open Lightning Storm, so I pass. You don't want to commit anything to field, not even to protect yourself, because Strikers cannot OTK you without using your cards. Whether it's Shark Cannon or Widow, they normally, like, it's really hard. Even if they have, like, a way to Special Ray and normal Effect Veiler to go into Hulk and Celine, they still need, like, 27 extra damage for it to be game, which is really, really hard for them to do that. And a lot of Sky Striker players just, like, can't do that. You know, I've never seen them OTK anybody on their first turn without using anybody's cards. So he's just going to get greedy for damage. He's going to poke for 15-15. He dumps Widow, then he goes to Gagard to recur it. Honestly, I would have just dumped multi-roll so that I can in-phase Shiz to get Widow anyways. If I'm really needing Widow, I'll just activate Widow, target Shiz, set it off multi-roll. So my play would have been a +2 technically, but instead he just breaks even. And the reason why is because like Widow is going to be able to replace itself in a sense where it's going to get another Striker card off multi-roll because you activate it, then multi-roll gets Hornet Drone. So like my play is a +2, plus now I can grind. But like he made his choice. So he's going to set 3 pass, in-phase Shiz, he's going to grab Afterburner. I'm obviously just going to Lightning Storm all his back rows. And now I'm pretty much going to be able to play Solitaire because that one Ash is not really just going to do much. So I'm just going to set those, and this is all I need. So now that I have Tidy and I have downtime, like that's what I mean, like that Ash is not going to do much because like all it was going to do was search a card that I really like. Do I need it necessarily? No, not really. Best case scenario, maybe I could fuse now, but because I'm playing against Strikers And because I already have tidying and downtime, this is pretty much all I need to just keep him from like getting any further. Because I have double bounce. Bounce for his link, bounce for spells or traps, or I could even just search Earnest and then summon again on his turn, just keep snowballing. So the Ash just like, it was like a neg 1 basically. He's gonna afterburn, I'm gonna chain downtime, return Chamber, and then I'm gonna search Earnest so that way I can summon Chamber again, get her effect to search, and then I have a target to use cleanup on. So I'm gonna chain Earnest, summon Chamber, grab Hospitality, start a battle phase. I'm going to summon Nurse's dragon form. He's going to attack directly. I let it happen because I just want to be able to bounce his back row in end phase. So he shouldn't have done what he did, but he did it. It's fine. So he whiffs off that, and he just has like a dead Widow. He's going to Kaina, target the Nurse dragon form. That's fine. End phase, I'm just going to clean up his back row. I let Shiz resolve first because I don't want him to change his mind on whatever he intended to search. And then this is game neck. He is at 8k. With like a real like, so he's at 8k and Ray does tag out from grave and he has Rose, but I'm still gonna OTK his butt. Matter of fact, I'm gonna break his whole board, leaving the area, and then attack for like, I don't know how much damage, but you guys are just seeing my play. Welcome. I grabbed that because like I just wanna, for strikers, I'm ready to grind anytime. Cause like if I need to, I just need to be ready. Cause this deck, strikers can grind. So like he's just like, he's trying to survive right now, but honestly, like, House is not once returned, so I'm like machine gunning his whole board right now. And I'm going to change over into Show, start a battle phase, Nurse is going to tag out to the dragon form of herself, and then House is going to pop Rose. And then I do style on him a little bit. I poke for like 58 plus 33, so this is like well over lethal. And as you guys see, if it's not game, I have a negate plus a follow-up pop. So not only do I have a negate plus multiple follow-ups, but I have 2 ways to trigger House, which means I have a way to clear 4 cards from my opponent's field plus the omni-negative Show. So if I use Show first and I summon House, now I'm going to be able to pop 2 monsters on the activation of Cleanup and then 2 more monsters on the activation of Downtime. So I can pop 4, which is crazy. So even if it wasn't game, he wasn't going to be able to keep up. So I think I might show Plunder a little bit later because I'm going to try to get the meta-relevant stuff first. I do want to show the game against Geist because like that game was just so epic, you guys. I love this deck. Like DRAGONMAIDs are just so fire. You guys are gonna see my comebacks all the time with this deck. So where's game 1? I see game 2 because I did 2-0 Geist. Please tell me I saved it. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. I see Geist game 2. No, please tell me I saved it. Oh, I typed Altergeist for game 1 and then Geist for game 2. That's why I was looking for G. So here's game 1. Pause. So I'm playing against Altergeist. His opening hand is Mario, Protocol, Double Mani, and Strike. I respect that he's playing Double Mani. I play Double Mani in my list as well. And he does play Haunted Rock. So like, I'm really happy that he's playing Haunted Rock. So like this guy, he's woke. And he's ready for Dragmas too. Which, you know, I'm not playing that, but that boy ready, you know. So my opening hand is pretty good because like I can play through Ash or Imperm pretty easily with Parlor and also Warlexy Guard Dragon, which is really cool. So I at least play through 1 hand trap and still can go full combo because whatever I was going to get off Parlor, I can just summon that off of the Guard Dragon play anyways, unless I was trying to dump like a spell or trap, which in that case I could summon Chamber and search it. So not only does this play through Imperm or Ash, but I get access to the card I was going to get off Parlor anyways. So my hand's like nice. So I did top deck the Amorph, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to use Parlor to dump Chamber, and I'm going to do my Guard Dragon combo. So Chamber is going to go ahead and search Changeover. So now I can summon Show, worst case scenario. If anything happens to the Guard Dragon combo, people aren't main decking the Bureau right now. It's very unlikely. I summon Nurse. So the reason why I summon Nurse, you guys are about to see my Spice. This is not in the list I just showcased you guys, but I've been testing with this deck a lot, and I have a new list for you guys, and you guys are about to see like an epic play. So I'm gonna summon Chamber. What I'm gonna do is fuse into Show. Changeover is gonna bounce Chamber, and then I'm gonna link it to Heretic Spear, and then I'm gonna activate Changeover, and guess what I summon? The Spice. Bolo Furious Dragon. This card takes 2 dragon monsters and read Changeover. Fusion summon 1 dragon fusion monster from your extra deck. The fact that this deck could make this card and people aren't playing it is just baffling. I'm so glad that I'm playing this card now because this board is too much for Geist. So I have a pop, I have a bounce, I have a negate, and downtime can bounce spells or traps. Also keep in mind that once show negates, he summons house. So now I can pop monsters with house and bounce spells or traps. So like, this is just too much. This is way too much. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interrupts because of house. And also whatever heretic summons, it's unfortunate that I have to fuse a Goliath, but technically if I didn't open Goliath in my hand, this would be extra deck lock on top of a bounce, on top of a pop, on top of a negate, on top of more pops and bounces off of house. So like if I play combo, they just lose to this. Like they lose so hard. Even if they have droplets and they just droplets my whole field, I'll just basically summon the Amorphage. And like, which that's still enough. Just so good. So yeah, like there's just no way like Altergeist are doing like anything to this board. See, top decks Faker. I'm gonna go Nurse off show and standby. So like you guys see the play that I did. Like I just went like, and this is pure DRAGONMAIDs putting up boards like this. I summon Cleanup just to be safe if something happens to house. I mean to show. I do negate the Mario. And basically now he goes to in. I didn't want to do anything in his main phase. So in phase, I'm gonna use Borlo Furious to target Parlor and pop his protocol. Then I'm going to use downtime to bounce Nurse and return his Solemn Strike. Then I'm going to use Heretic, bounce my Guard Dragon so I get a follow-up. Then I'm going to use this Graveyard effect. And at the start of my turn, during my draw phase, I'm just going to activate, probably I'll wait to standby to use House to summon a dragon. Then use Borlo Fierce Dragon to target either one of these, and both of these can't do anything. So he just got like waxed so hard, he didn't even get to play. So now he's going to get to go first this time. So you guys are going to see this Altergeist player open up the nuts. This duel is like my favorite duel so far. Of all these, this is probably my favorite. Because not only did I prove just how good DRAGONMAIDs are, but I showed you guys that this deck can remake its boards over and over and over and over and over, getting its board broken constantly, and that it can outgrind any deck. Like I've outgrinded Eldritch, Shaddolls, and also DRAGONMAID, Invoked, and I've outgrinded Altergeist, and even Megalith. I can't think of any other decks that are popular that can grind like that, and DRAGONMAIDs outpace them so much. Look at this, 10 turns. That's how you know it's a good duel. It was 10 turns. Pause. So I did side evenly Lightning Storm, and I sided Guard Dragon. There's a Guard Dragon trap card that I'm playing now. It's so good. It pops 2, and it's really, really good because I set up like so many extra dragons on my combos, because like show snowballs and heretic summons on my opponent's turn, that I can just, once they've used their effect to search, I just use that trap to tribute them and then pop 2. So it gives me more interrupts too, because sometimes show and like heretic seal is not enough, but when you have like show, heretic seal, droplets, and that trap, it's enough for like any deck, even if it's back row or combo, because you lock them out their extra deck, you can pop anything, monsters, spells, traps, whatever it is. It's so crazy. So his opening hand is Extrav plus Faker plus Marionetter plus Meliseek and Duster, and this extravagance is like just icing to the cake, because this hand's insane because he does play Haunted Rock, and he doesn't banish anything like bad, you know, like his banishes off of the Extrav, he still had multiple Hexia, so he lost like what? Nothing. Like he still, I'm sure he's playing multiple Link Karibo, so I'm sure he still has one. So he's gonna go Mario, set Haunted Rock, and he is about to combo off big time. He's gonna pitch Seek, result Faker turn 1. It doesn't get any better than this for an Altergeist player to be doing this on your first turn. I was talking about this in my deck profile. This is why I never side out Haunted Rock. Look at what he's doing. He's just going crazy right now. So now he's gonna summon Hexia. And he has Faker, Hexia, Manny now, and he has Ash, and he has Double Duster. So he's gonna summon Hexia here. He's gonna summon Faker. He's gonna use Faker to get Socrates. Like, oh my goodness. So I'm gonna activate Lightning Storm. He's gonna negate that. So I thought about it, and I'm like, let me see if he takes the bait. So I activate Changeover. He doesn't, because I think his idea was to use Silk to bounce whatever I summon. But I will say, he's seen show turn 1, so the fact that he let this resolve is baffling, because if I had a higher level, I would have been putting show out. That means now if he tries to use Silk, I negate it with show and then summon House, and then I just normal summon Nurse, summon something, use Changeover to bounce, use House, and then like basically now he has to negate Changeover, otherwise House pops, and then I'm just gonna like machine gun his board. So that was really risky by him not negating it. I was trying to bait him, because I could just bounce this from grave to hand anyways if he negates it. So he did what he did. Lucky for him, you know, I didn't have high levels. So I'm going to normal Nurse. He's going to bounce my House as expected. Summon Parlor. I'm going to use Parlor. He's going to Ash it. So now you guys are looking, right? And now it's like, you know, he's about to negate changeover with Hexia. Now he's resolving Hexia to get a Marionetter. You guys look at this like, oh, 3 stacks, you lost. This should be game. Look at the Altergeist player so far ahead, and he has Duster for your back row. What are you gonna do? You guys, this duel was epic. You guys are about to see just how powerful DRAGONMAID are. Like, you have to OTK this deck. If you do not OTK DRAGONMAID, like, if you keep letting them have turns and can't break their board, you're just not going to be able to out-resource them. It's not smart to try to grind with this deck. Even with Altergeist, it's not smart to grind with them, but for me, I didn't have a choice. And I was very, very confident that my DRAGONMAIDs could outgrind Altergeist. And that confidence is like well placed, because I do play Altergeist. I do know how good this deck is. You guys probably be like, why didn't you just scoop? Because I have faith. I know that I got this, man. I'm just positive. I'm like, you negate spheres? Alright, bet. Graveyard effect, because he tributes for cost. You know, I have cleanup. So I'm thinking, like, I have 2 bounces, and I'm going to bounce Hexia no matter what, so that way I don't have to worry about him negating this. But I did not know that he had the Duster. So I'm going to set this. He's going to in-face Duster me. I'm like, alright, bet. Cleanup's engraved now. So what I have to do is bounce the Hexia. Heavenly Spears is going to summon Kitchen because I need high levels so I can have tag outs and battle phase. I'm going to use this immediately because the fear of Hexia. I don't want this to be negated, so I'm going to summon Nurse, summon Parlor. Parlor dumped the dragon form of Nurse. So now I've got like a full field now. Not a full field, but like this field right here. These cards, if he goes to battle phase, these are all going back to my hand. Well, these 2 are going back to my hand. So my hand's gonna replace itself, my field's replacing itself. You guys are seeing the power of DRAGONMAIDs, and I have changeover engraved, so like I'm Gucci. So like right now, the problem with his setup is like he has to OTK me. If he doesn't, he's not gonna be able to win. I'm telling you guys. You guys are gonna see it, and you guys are about to be like, no, this is Altergeist. There's no way. Look at how far he is. He's gonna unicorn. He's gonna shuffle my Parlor, pitch the Haunted Rock. It's dead anyways. And he's gonna grab Manny off of the Silk. Then he's gonna smart too. So now I realize this Altergeist player knows how to read cards. He did not enter battle phase because he didn't want to risk my DRAGONMAIDs going to hand. But little did he know, Cleanup's effect, whatever it summons, gets bounced anyways. So this card's graveyard effect is a +3. It's a +2 inherently because whatever you summon off of it is both going to get effect to search more than likely, and it's going to get bounced. So you get 2 cards in hand. So you can have no cards in hand, Cleanup gets you 2 cards in hand, and then next turn whatever you bounce is going to summon itself, and you're just going to start snowballing. So you can have no cards, top deck, like, I don't know, like Droplets, which is dead, and then Cleanup can go for Nurse, and you just like go Nurse for Parlor for Cleanup. I mean, like if you use Cleanup on in-phase, like Cleanup on in-phase better, so you go Nurse for Parlor dump Cleanup, and then on your turn you can do it again. If you don't want to use Cleanup, if you don't play it, then you just basically go Nurse for Chamber for Hospitality, and then Hospitality for another DRAGONMAID, and then bounce Changeover, and like you just get all that off 1 card. Like you guys will see, I've literally gone from like no cards in hand to like a full hand and a full field. Like it's just so crazy. Or really, I would say I had like 1 or 2 cards in hand, but then I end up having like a full field. So he's gonna activate Manny, Chain Spoofing, Smart, and then he's gonna summon Faker to Hexia Zone. So now you guys would be like, dang, how are you gonna push 3 stacks? Look what he has. He has Protocol, he has Silk, and he has Duster and Manny, and he has Hexia Negates. How are you gonna do this? So I try to use Changeover, seeing if he'll take the bait. He doesn't. I do dump Cleanup, you know, I'm trying to bait his Hexia because Cleanup to me is more valuable than Changeover right now. So I'm going to enter battle phase, try to activate Parlor's effect. He's going to use Protocol to negate that on Res. He's going to use Silkweedus. Oh, no, he didn't. Never mind. So now I'm going to activate Changeover main phase 2. He is going to negate it with Hexia. You guys see, the reason why I chained Cleanup to the effect of Hexia is because I know he has Manifestation. I don't want him to put this up so he can negate Cleanup. So I chained Cleanup to Hexia so I could summon Nurse. So Changeover is going to get negated. And I did that to bait him anyways. Then Nurse is going to summon Chamber. Chamber is going to get a downtime. And I'm going to summon Sphere and pass again. So you guys are like, dang, I just have not been able to push. He's been keeping me like at so low resources while he's just plussing so hard. His field's just huge. He has so many cards like in rotation that replace themselves, graveyard floating of like Silk, you know, Hexia, and you know, if he has Meliseek, yeah, he has Meliseek. Like, and he has like all the Altergeist trap cards in rotation, including Haunted Rock, and he has Spoofing. And little old me, I just have Spheres and downtime. You know, that's all I have. So I'm gonna do the spheres again. And you guys also keep in mind that by me using spheres constantly bouncing his Hexia, I'm making him have to commit more resources to remake his Hexias. So he doesn't just get free Marionetter summon Hexia from grave. And as you guys see, he's burned through 2 Siliquitas, 2 Fakers, a Marionetter, and a Seek. And another Seek. So you guys also, when you play against Altergeist, pay attention to how many Altergeists are in their grave, so you know what their follow-ups are looking like. So he has like 1 Marionetter, no more Fakers, and 1 Meliseek left in his deck, and then Conqueri. So that's all he has left. So he hasn't been able to OTK me, I haven't been able to OTK him, but he's burning out of his resources faster than I am. I honestly haven't burned through anything because I haven't even got started yet. I've just been trying to survive this whole time. And so as you guys see, he negated the spheres, but it tributes itself for cost, so separate chain. I'm going to summon Nurse from deck. I'm playing 2 Nurse now. I'm so glad my list changed. I summon Chamber, get Hospitality. Now I have downtime. So as you guys see, I'm waiting. I'm trying to like bait him, see if he'll use Hexia here, get rid of that Marionetter. I try to target the card he targeted off Marionetter, which prompts him to use it. So now he's going to summon Access Code. This is trouble, you know? So he's going to get the manifestation back. He's going to use Access Code to kill Nurse. And then he's going to banish Hexia to kill the Chamber. So like he just did not want me to get any follow-up. So like look at now, I'm in a bad position. Because now he has Manny, he has Protocol, he has Duster, Manny, Spoofing, Conqueri, and Talker. Now my Heretic Spears really helped me in this grind game because I kept putting back his Hexias. So now it's going to be a lot harder for him to go aggressive. Because without Hexia, you know, it's really hard for this deck to do like what it normally does. So like he does not have Protocol in rotation. He's just relying on manifestations. No, I'm sorry, he does have Protocol. So he has manifestations, Protocol, Duster, Conqueri. So I can't really, it's gonna be hard to OTK him. And Spoofing, which like honestly, he's running out of targets here. So I top deck World Legacy Guard Dragon. He's gonna activate manifestation to get Silk. He's gonna shuffle it with Spoofing to get Seek. I'm going to activate Guard Dragon, trying to see if he'll bait, because Hospitality is a better extender than Guard Dragon right now. I'm going to summon Nurse, activate its effect. He's going to Protocol the Nurse, tribute the Hexia, he's going to tribute Silk for cost, and then on resolution, chain, not even on res, because this is cost. Then he's going to chain Manny, summon this, so that way he can stick his bouncer back on the field. So I already played through the Protocol, now I have to play through the bounce. And as you guys see, I summon Kitchen. Used her to grab her dragon form, pitched it, and then I'm going to activate Hospitality for Chamber. I'm going to use Chamber to grab Welcome. So I'm going to activate Welcome because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to recur like downtime or anything that I need. You know, I'm trying to get some follow-ups because I can see this is going to be a grind. So I'm trying to get my stuff so I can play the grind. Now he's going to activate Duster. He's going to pop both downtime and the World Legacy Guard Dragon. Then downtime's effect triggers, so now my Dragon Maids can't be targeted. So now his Silk can't bounce. So he did take my follow-up, but now he's not able to use Silk. So by killing my follow-up, I'm basically able to get rid of the Silk. He does conk, I see, and I just attack over Silk anyway, so that way he can't bounce on his turn. He's going to have to get Silk on field first. In the battle phase, I'm going to summon Kitchen, so that way she can tag out. Then I'm going to change over in the show. So you guys see, I'm starting to grind now. Like, I'm getting there. Like, you guys are seeing how good Dragon Maids are. Like, I'm just like, if you guys saw at the beginning of this duel, you'd be like, how are you even going to beat this Altergeist player? I'm not going to lie. Some people probably would have scooped the moment they saw that they couldn't out that Altergeist board, seeing all the follow-ups. But because I've been playing Dragon Maids enough, I know that this deck can grind better than any deck I've really played so far. Like, honestly, I haven't really played a deck that not only grinds like this, but OTKs off like 1 or 2 cards all the time. Like, with the graveyard setup, 1 Hospitality gets you so much, you guys. It's crazy. And as you guys see, I'm still plussing. I'm keeping my hand and my field full. A show. So you guys see, show went Nurse and Nurse for Chamber. So, unfortunately, you know, he access codes for show. Or shall. So I can't negate because I can't respond to access code. That's why he summoned Revo, so he can get rid of my negator. And he drew into anti-spell. So now this is going to slow me down even more. And he doesn't enter battle phase. He's smart. He's reading my cards. So what he does is activates anti-spell. I'm going to chain droplet so I can just have this access code talker so I can get rid of it. So that way it's less problems for me to deal with. And then I'm going to start by entering battle phase. I used Nurse, baited that Protocol. And I think he did that because he doesn't want Nurse to be bounced the hand so I can normal summon it. And so either way, Nurse like baits and negates. So like he hit that. Then I'm going to go, next I'm going to go for Chamber. and I'm gonna summon out Show because it was properly summoned. Then I'm gonna use Kitchen. He's gonna bounce the Show with Silk. I'm gonna negate that. Either way, like honestly, no matter what, Show goes back to the extra deck. Like, so I didn't have to negate that because in hindsight, if there wasn't an anti-spell there, you would be able to summon another Show this turn and be able to use this effect. But since there's anti-spell, I can't put another Show out anyway. So I'm like, I'm just gonna negate that mess. And Protocol doesn't protect like from Grave because like he soaked when he paid cost. Manifestation basically left, so he goes straight to Grave. So like Protocol doesn't protect it. But it doesn't really matter too much. So as you guys see, I'm gonna beat over the Access Skull Talker, and I'm gonna summon Kitchen, and I'm gonna use her effect to grab another Dragon form of Parlor, or if that's the first one, and then I'm gonna search for Changeover. Then I'm gonna set both those, and I'm out of Heretic Spheres. So like that would have been a good card to stick on the board again, but I'm out of them. Like I probably might play 3 because that card's just so broken in this deck. And like you guys see, I'm out resourcing him. Like I'm out resourcing him because he's running out of cards way faster than I am. So you guys see, he is able to grind. And honestly, most decks wouldn't have been able to get that far just based on the board that Altergeist set up. But the play style that Dragonmaids have, because they're always returning cards to hand and in battle phase and just tagging out, and their stuff's recurable. And I do have searchable traps that actually work against this deck. Because I'm playing Dragonmaids, I'm keeping up really good. Like I'm like doing like just... These comebacks are just so fire, and you guys see, he gives up. So what happens now is like I'm going to be able to activate Changeover and Hospitality, and I'm going to be able to OTK him through the Protocol and the bounce, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick Show on the field, then Hospitality for like Nurse, use Nurse to summon out like Parlor, use Parlor to dump something, use Changeover like to bounce, then summon out House, and then just go straight into battle phase. And like this is just way too much. Like he cannot, like this is just way too much. Like he can't do anything now. Like he's just so low in resources. So you guys see, I outgrinded Altergeist, so that was 2-0. Now I'm gonna go to this duel against Dragon Link, because Dragon Link's a pretty nice deck. I like this guy's build too, it's pretty fire. So his opening hand, he definitely has combo, but no hand traps. I have one hand trap and a weak hand, because I don't have any high levels or different names. I have double chamber and hospitality. So you guys are going to see how my hand plays out. I'm going to normal chamber, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to search cleanup, because I see my hand's weak. So I'm just going to go for double bounces off spheres with cleanup and droplet. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 interrupts, and this is enough to get me to survive no matter what. Because if I needed to, I could summon the Amorphage Goliath, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that, which prompts my opponent to have to waste their battle phase. And also keep in mind, once they use their battle phase, I could just clean up, bounce my Amorphage if I need to, you know, bounce their monster they're attacking with. And now main phase 2, they have to combo through Droplet and Ash after they've already wasted their battle phase. So I survive next turn. So I basically, because I survive, I get a next turn. I already have Chamber for follow-ups. And Tidings also a follow-up, because once it hits the grave, it's going to be able to summon something on my turn. So like, this setup might not look like a lot, but that's the thing with Dragonmaids. Their setups don't always... It's like Salamangreat. That's what I can compare it to. It's like Salamangreat. It doesn't always look as intimidating, but there's so much like that you have to read between the lines. So I do Ash the quick launch because I don't want him to put a monster up that can attack over Goliath. So he does use Brotar. I don't stop that because I see he doesn't have a graveyard set up for Levianeer. He's going to summon Collapse Serpent to try to attack over Goliath. I'm just going to bounce it with cleanup and put that back because he can't summon it again. And now, like, he just can't play. So he goes to go Striker for, he is playing, like, Rocket Dragon Link and stuff. He's just playing, like, a Crusadia engine as well. I'm going to normal summon Chamber. I'm going to grab Changeover. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon Show. Beat over that. He's going to use Brotar. I wait for its effect on field. Then I go House. I mean, not House, but, you know, House Dragon form. Show for House. Poke for another 3k. And then I'm going to clean up, still in battle phase. I mean, in the battle phase, I'm going to clean up for Chamber. Not clean up, but I'm going to change over for Chamber, so that way I can summon another Show. And on standby, I'm just going to start grinding now. I'm really far ahead because I've stopped him a lot, and I've been able to stick my Negator. So I was able to not only survive, but you guys see, that really bad hand turns so good. That's what I mean by like the snowballing of this deck. You could draw really bad hands, and after your first turn, that really bad hand turns amazing. Because like bad hands, they just put up like barely any interrupts. But the thing with Dragon Maids that you guys have to pay attention to is the interruptions that you put up are follow-ups as well. So like it's really good. Like cleanup is a follow-up because whatever card you bounce is gonna get an effect normally to summon and like search another card. So like you just get so much. Downtime, bounce, so you just get +2s and +3s as you interrupt. As you guys see, I'm letting him get really deep into his combo. I'm not using show or droplet yet. I'm really confident. I'm not gonna do anything. Like most people would try to negate Romulus because that card's kind of scary, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see how deep he's gonna get into his combo, because if I don't use show, I probably just droplet. So I'm just gonna droplet now to save my show. Because I don't want to use show if I don't have to, because standby I can use his effect to keep snowballing to make sure I OTK. So I just held the droplet to see if I need it. And I'm going to summon Chamber, get another, get a downtime I think. And yeah, he just scoops because like I definitely have game here, which is crazy. Like it's crazy that I still haven't seen any other lower level Dragon Maid except Chamber, but I was able to do all that. And this is game, because he's at 25. So all I have to do is just enter battle phase and attack that Magius. I don't even have to flex. So I got game 1. Game 2, he destroyed me. And honestly, I did open a good hand too. For breaking his board, I have Kaiju, Talent, and Droplet. So that's really good against combo decks that are not Infernobles that can't like rip. But even if it's Infernobles, he has to pick one of these 3 amazing cards. So like if he doesn't take Kaiju, you know, I can just Kaiju his best card and then I can just style on him. If it's Infernoble, if they don't take Talents, I can Droplet them. If they stick Arclight to play around Droplets, they have to take the Kaiju and then play into Talents, which is really good. So like this hand's gas. And then I top deck Rolex Guard Dragon. So the hand I have can break combo boards, but this guy is just way too good. This Dragon League player is way too good. He's gonna quick launch for Chaser, normal summon Crew, and now he's gonna do this. So you guys see he didn't normal Crew first, then quick launch, because he wanted to chain block with the Striker and the Magius, which was smart. And then he's gonna Crusadia Draco to grab back Avermax. I mean not Avermax, but Maximus. My bad, I'm calling it Avermax. Then he's gonna he's basically just gonna go like full combo, but it's gonna get even like crazier. So you guys are gonna see everything he's doing. This guy's just doing the most right now. Like I have to let him play Solitaire because I chose to break the board rather than prevent it from happening. Well, I think actually no, I didn't choose that. I'm pretty sure I slided in hand traps like Nibiru, but I don't have a choice here, so never mind. I take the bag. I'm sorry. I have to watch him style on me. And this, like, what he's doing right now, this is just crazy. Like, all these plays he's making, like, oh my goodness. His hand's just getting better and better. Like, you guys see, his hand is already amazing. Like, he has 3 amazing cards, but it's just going to keep getting better. So now he's going to search for Collab, and then he's going to, like, so he resolved, let me see how many Skull Dreads this man's resolved. Oh, okay, only 2. Why did it feel like 3? I was gonna say, this dude, his deck is crazy. Like, look at everything he's gone through. So, also, people would have Nibiru'd a long time ago, and he would have just kept playing like it was nothing. And look at his field, like, people would have Nibiru'd the moment you see 4 materials to summon Appaloosa, you have to Nibiru. And his deck's just so crazy, Nibiru would have done nothing. Like, more than likely would have done nothing. Gamma probably would have done nothing. Ghost Ogre would have done nothing. Like, just, it's like, where do you stop this deck? Because this is not a standard Dragon Link deck. So people don't even know when to stop it. They probably would have been hand-trapping Skull Dread, you know? But it's like, dang, he just has too much. So I'm glad that I don't have hand traps, because I would have wasted them. And he probably would have full comboed through multiple hand traps. That's how good his oh, look at his hand, it's so fat. That's how good his plays are right now. He just starts Nessie for cost. Oh my goodness, it's just getting worse. Oh my goodness, now he's gonna rip my talents. Dang. I'd rather have Droplet though, because at least Droplet can negate multiples. But at the same time, Talent could take like Dragoon and use Dragoon to pop everything. You know, if he is playing Dragoon, but he doesn't summon it this turn. So you guys are going to see how impressive his inning board is. Also keep in mind, not only was his inning board so impressive, but he has follow-ups and a 4-card hand. So his inning board is Savage, Titanic, Appaloosa, and Heretic Spirit. So he has 4 negates plus a potential extra deck lock, which is like technically 5 interrupts. And then you got to add 2 more negates because Appaloosa has 3 counters. So he has 7 interruptions. 7 interruptions. Complete setup for your graveyard for follow-ups, 4 cards in hand, so you can say that that whole board costed him 1 card. And then he still has space, 1-for-1, Jackalope, and Wyvern Buster. So this deck is like, I feel like what it's doing is better than the other Dragon Link decks I've seen, because I haven't seen them do all of this and still have all of this and a graveyard setup, and then it's gonna get worse because like I top deck evenly match, right? I'm gonna Kaiju Savage so that way I can evenly hit. It's not gonna do that much. It's gonna base Spears, get rid of Titanic, which is good, but my hand is just not good enough. Like that talents, me losing that talents made a huge difference. Cause like when I evenly matched him, so basically like if he didn't have Levianeer, I would have had talents droplet evenly Kaiju. So then I can evenly him, he keeps Oppo, I activate an effect, he's gonna use Oppo, you know, then I could basically, if I wanted to, I could talents his Oppo. But more than likely, I probably just droplets the Oppo, talents to look at his hand, see what I can snipe, or just try to like draw two, you know? But either way, I just, even though I managed to break pretty much his whole board, because I did droplets the Oppo, the thing is, see, now also keep in mind, if this was regular, like, Dragon Link, they would have put up almost every single thing that they had. Maybe they'd have follow-ups, but this dude, not only was his board able to be broken and he could remake it, but you guys are going to see a board that looks almost exactly the same as the first board that he made, because he's going to put out Savage all over again, and he put Titanic Galaxy back to his extra deck with the Spears. So like, I broke his whole board, but it doesn't even matter, so he's just too far ahead. So literally all I can do is load my grave up and put a Heretic, but I sided out Goliath, which sucks. I wish I didn't side out Goliath though, honestly. I really do. So he's going to use Ding to send. I'm going to use Fierce to bounce the Wyver. The reason why I did that is because I read the materials of Ding. I don't want Seyfried and Spiral back in grave. So I'm just going to leave the Ding up. He's going to Levianeer, pop my Prowler. I dumped the cleanup though, so like I can still get something. He's going to recycle his extra deck cards. And now he's going to reveal the Dragoon. So he didn't summon Dragoon turn 1, which was smart. He's going to summon Savage again. Hello, Savage. Didn't I just Kaiju you? And I have no choice but to go Nurse, see if he's going to Savage it. He doesn't. And I'm like, alright, dang, I lose because Dragoon's coming out. So now he has Dragoon, Savage, and Ding Gearsuit. So this is almost as threatening as his turn 1 board because Dragoon's better than Savage and it's better than Titanic. So this replaces Titanic. Savage is there. He doesn't have the bounce off Spears or Appaloosa, but like, for him to be able to do this after I broke his board, it's just crazy, and he still has Titanic, which is just ridiculous. So I lost. Whew! I mean, I opened a really good way to break his board, but this is like a combo deck that has follow-ups. So I think this guy's deck is just really, really good. So I sided in a Pointer. Now I have a Pointer called by some DRAGONMAID cards, and he has like no hand traps, but he has Talent and Dark Ruler, and he has a way to combo. So like his hand is insane if I don't have a Pointer. So I got really, really lucky to get a Pointer, because if I didn't have a Pointer, if I just summoned Show, it was just not gonna be enough. I would need like cleanup or downtime, so that way when Show negates I could trigger like House, but he has Dark Ruler, so at least I could survive. And with this deck, if I survive, yeah man, DRAGONMAIDs, you guys be surprised what they do on the follow-ups. So I'm gonna basically go Chamber, grab Changeover, I'm gonna fuse into Show or Shao, bounce Chamber back to hand so I can have cards that he already knows about with the Pointer, so that way I can set called by. On draw phase, I'm going to activate a Pointer, so that way Shao's going to be safe in standby. I look at his hand. I don't really know his deck too well, but I thought about my reasoning. So I thought about what's the chances. So I was like, okay, Talents and Dark Ruler conflict. If I hit one of those, he can use the other against me. So now I have to play into Talents or Dark Ruler no matter what. Because like if I hit one of these, he can still full combo me. So what I thought about was trying to take away his ability to combo rather than his ability to play through my interrupt. So I didn't worry about these, even though these played through my one interrupt. So now by not taking these, I'm going to be very careful to not activate Shell unless I literally have no choice at all. So then I thought about his hand and I'm like, okay, Mist is definitely a combo piece because I think he can summon a Tuner off this. He's probably playing the Jirac, so he can summon Hauki Fibrax. So I'm like, alright, he has Tuner access, 2 different ways to access a Tuner. He opened Brotar, so that's a brick, and he drew War Legacy Guard Dragon. So I thought about this, I was like, Call by hits Misk. He has to play Link Kuriboh for this to be able to combo with Arborea. So I thought about it, I was like, so if I take this, he can use Arborea to go into Magius. And that's probably like all he might be able to do. So like I'm like, okay, he can just go into Magius and that's probably all he can do. But also at the same time, what I wanted to do here was actually just take his World Legacy Guard Dragon, because what that does is it means like if he doesn't play Link Karibo, all he can do is summon Striker Dragon and pass. But like with World Legacy Guard Dragon, you know, I'm not sure. So I feel like I made the right choice by taking the World Legacy Guard Dragon. It was either that or Arborea, because like he can't combo with just Brotar by itself, and I have Call By for the miss. So like his hand is kind of like mine. Game 2, how I opened a way to break his board, but I didn't have that many cards to combo with. He's in my position that I was just in Game 2, where I had a way to break his board, but not too many cards to combo with. He has a way to break my board, but he only has 2 ways to combo, and I have Call By for the first way and a Pointer for the second way, so I'm good. So I thought really hard, and I was like, this is a correct card. And I'm going to use Show and Standby. That plays around both Dark Ruler and Talent. This is why this card's so good. I'm going to search my follow-up. He's going to miss. I am going to Call By. Then he's going to number Brotar, and I'm like, please don't have Link Karibo. He doesn't play it. He's going to summon Striker Dragon and get Boost Sector Launch pass. And he's not going to get another turn. I'm playing Dragon Maids. And as you guys see, pause. I don't have any, again, this is another duel showcasing the power of Just Chamber. Because Ernest, like, doesn't count as the lower level ones. So, like, she's the only, like, self-replacing searcher that I've seen this whole duel. And Ernest is just there for tag outs and like a valid target. So this is, again, I'm going to OTK him just resolving multiple chambers. So as many times I've resolved chamber, like it's just so good. I'm going to summon House. I'm going to bounce chamber with changeover. Use House to pop the striker. That's going to prompt Brotar. I know his hand, so it's safe. I'm going to trigger Show to summon House. I'm going to Hospitality for Ernest to dump Nurse. And then I'm going to change over. And what I was going to do is basically, I was going to fuse with Chamber and this to summon Show and attack for 9,500 damage. So I beat Dragon Link. I guess I'll show, I can do like maybe one more. So I have choices here. So I have like Dino, Dragma Necros. Dang, there's so many to show. Dang. Which one do I show? You know what? I'm going to show Plunders because I love Plunders. That's going to be the last one I show, and the rest of them can be for a separate video if you guys are still curious. But you guys are already seeing how good Dragon Maids are. So like his opening hand is pretty good actually. He has Call By, a hand trap, and a way to fuse. If I was him, I would not fuse. I wouldn't, because there's no point to summon Lease when you have no plunder cards in hands. It's like, even though he has shipping and 2 valid targets, it's still not good to summon Lease, because there's no point in summoning Lease if you have no plunder cards, unless you just want to try to RNG into like Bluebeard, and Bluebeard just pray that my opponent has the right attribute. I mean, not Bluebeard, but Blackbeard, so that you can use Blackbeard to draw. But so if he summons Lease and Blackbeard, and basically like that's all he can do, they'll be equipped. He's at the mercy of whatever attribute I play. But at least my play probably just like normal Redbeard pass and just play a little bit more conservative. Don't commit so many resources. At least that way, like, you know, you have like, you'll have more follow-ups that way. But at the same time, like, no matter what he does, he's still at the mercy of what attribute his opponent has. So I don't have any way to stop him. I do have Droplets and Call By, and I have double cleanup. And I'm top decking it to Parlor, so like now my hand's good. Before it was terrible because all I could do is stall my opponent out. That's it. But top decking Parlor makes my hand insane. So he's gonna normal Whitebeard. He's gonna go shipping into Lease. He didn't have to normal Whitebeard, but he did it. He's gonna summon Golden Hair off of Whitebeard. He's gonna equip Emblem to her, and then he's gonna summon Blackbeard. So now he's gonna have to hope that I'm playing the right attribute. Hope that his Call By an Ogre can hold me at bay, and then just like pray that I have an attribute for Blackbeard to attack so he can try to draw into a Redbeard. So he is going to be able to draw a Plunder card. So what I'm going to do is normal Parlor. That's a wind. He can't do anything. I'm going to dump Kitchen though, and I'm not scared of Brawn. So like he has a chance now to go for Brawn, which is, you know, that's okay. That's fine. Brawn is not scary. So like I do dump, but like the thing is, no matter if I want to dump like a good card for Parlor to be live, I have to play into the Blackbeard now, so I have to give him some kind of attribute. Because the only thing I could dump is like Nurse, and then I'm still going to go into my Guard Dragon combo. So no matter what, I am going to give him his attribute in order for me to be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, if you want to play super conservative, you could just normal Parlor, and like set cleanup and pass, and just like try to use cleanup to, you know, like bounce lease, and basically use cleanup's grave effect for follow-ups, but you're at the mercy of your opponent. So like, I guess in hindsight, to not give him any way to be able to play, I can just normal parlor, you know, like basically not even use her effect just in case of a lease, and then just like set double cleanup and droplet pass. That way I can just use cleanup on lease, and then I can just use droplet to make sure I survive, and now follow up I can just use cleanup to like summon parlor, then I can start playing that way, you know. But like honestly, I wanted to get my engine online, so I did have droplets. That's why I wasn't really too scared of like you know, him being able to like tag into anything, because I'm gonna take care of lease. I'm not worried about what Blackbeard's gonna tag to. He does chain. I don't send a monster, so he chains. I sent cleanup for cost, and now I'm gonna chain cleanup to summon the kitchen. No. Yeah. To summon the kitchen, because that's what he did, because he called by the grave my target and he chained Blackbeard. So then I'm gonna chain droplet to send cleanup, and then he's gonna chain lease. So that was a really high chain link there. And then since I sent cleanup for cost, I chain it to summon the kitchen, so I play around the call by the grave. So my play was really smart, and his play was really smart, because just in case I'm gonna negate lease, he's just gonna stick a card on field. So once I seen lease is used up, because it can negate but it can't search, I'm like, now I'm just gonna take care of Redbeard and Blackbeard. And now I'm gonna go battle phase, activate kitchen. He's gonna try to ogre, I'm gonna call by it, summon the dragon form of parlor, beat over Blackbeard, go into heretic spheres, set cleanup and pass. This is all I need. So like, he was more ahead than me at first, but now I'm just gonna be able to like snowball. So like, he does negate my spheres with lease, but since it hits the grave, he can't negate and destroy, and it's not equipped, so he doesn't search anyways. So now I just summon nurse, summon parlor, dump changeover. He's gonna try to attack. I'm gonna clean up to bounce nurse. Now he just can't, like, he can't win. So like, my hand was kind of weak, but the way this deck snowballs, the way it always gets follow-ups, and just its ability to recover is just like so good. So I'm just gonna summon house here. I'm gonna normal nurse. He's gonna use lease to like try to survive basically. Summon parlor, use parlor, dump chamber so I can clean up for chamber. Chamber's effect is gonna grab hospitality. I'm styling on him because I don't have to play around Nibiru. And I'm gonna dump the dragon form of kitchen. Now I'm gonna dump the dragon form of nurse, which is so good. Start a battle phase. I'm just gonna machine gun his board with house. He's gonna scoop because that's like well over lethal. So that's game 1. Game 2, he got me. I hope he had to work for it though. Pause. So I have a similar hand again where I have no like DRAGONMAID monsters, which kind of sucks. You know, this deck does brick sometimes. He has booty, he opened fusion again, he has a hand trap and a way to combo. If I was him, I would keep shipping in hand. So what I would do is I would just normal Blackbeard, summon this, link into normal Whitebeard, summon this, link into Blackbeard, summon out Redbeard off of Whitebeard, set booty and pass with shipping in hand Blackbeard and Redbeard, so that way I can use booty to give attributes I need. Blackbeard's gonna draw, and I can use shipping to discard for cost for any of my plunders, and I have Valor. That's what I would do with this hand. So let's see what he does. He summons Dragite instead. Maybe he's trying to play around Lightning Storm. I understand. And he's just gonna summon Redbeard and pass with booty, Redbeard, and shipping, and Valor. For plunders, also like DRAGONMAID, sometimes it might not look like they have much, but then next turn you get OTK'd. So this deck snowballs a lot too. I love decks that can snowball. I'm top decking into still no DRAGONMAIDs, so I'm just gonna pass. I don't even set the ogre, I'm just gonna pass. He's gonna link in a Union Carrier, and he's just like, just to get a light on field, so that way he can summon Lease. So he's gonna emblem, summon Lease. It's gonna be fat. Then I'm gonna try to ghost ogre his Union Carrier, trying to like, you know, hopefully Lease gets baited, but he doesn't do it. He doesn't take the bait. And now he's just gonna stick 6,500 damage on field. He has no plunder cards in hand, so it's like, this is Gucci. He should have just kept this equipped and then did it in main phase 2 to summon. Dang. He still didn't draw into a plunder card. Finally, I top deck into Parlor. That's gonna be met by Valor. That's a bet. Alright, buddy. He's gonna booty, so he can just keep grinding. He can keep grinding. And like, this is gonna be able to like float. I'm gonna go into Striker Dragon. Because like now, what I'm scared of is, I wish I knew he didn't have a plunder card in hand. Because like, I could have went into my Guard Dragon combo without him doing anything about it. because Dragite negates the activation of World Legacy, then I just activated another one. So if I knew he had no plunder cards in hand, I would have full comboed and I would have been able to break through his board because he has no way to negate. So I could have just went into house and machine gunned his board and just like pop, 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 and then I win. But I was being really cautious because I know how plunders work, and I know if he has a plunder card in hand, I'm in trouble because Mork and Lee. So I'm trying to play really conservative. I wish I knew, like, because I wouldn't have played conservative if he didn't have plunder cards in hand. So negated the activation of Guard Dragon. So then I'm just going to link in the Spheres. I'm going to summon Parlor, dump her Dragon form, enter battle phase, use her effect, tag out, trying to bait. I'm going to beat over Lease now. And now what I'm going to do is summon Shao. And in phase he's going to go into Mork. Alright, that's a bet. I'm going to activate Shao. He's going to chain Booty. I'm going to chain Spears. He's going to chain Call By. I'm going to chain Shao because I'm trying to bounce his Booty. I'm going to summon House. Now I'm going to get Parlor and Spears. And he's going to chain Mork to banish House. Dang. So I dump Cleanup just to be safe. I'm going to get Kitchen, get another high level engrave, so I have battle phase tag outs. Yeah, but I'm in trouble now. Like, I think he should be out of leases. I'm not sure. Let's see what he does. What is he going to do? Okay, he's going to equip. Alright, that's a bet. He's going to go into Brawn. Okay. He's going to banish the Guard Dragon. Dang. I'm going to try to clean up here, but he had the Dragite for the cleanup. If he didn't have Dragite, I was definitely going to survive, but this is just too much. No, as a matter of fact, do I have Nurse engraved? I have to have Nurse. I have to have Nurse. Dang! I lost. Alright, this is the last one, you guys. This is game 3. Oh, I gotta exit out. Okay. You guys see though, even though like I'm in losing positions with my Dragon Maids, a lot of times Dragon Maids can fight. They really can fight and like they can survive. So he like hard drew evenly and only like, well no, this is actually a 1-card Blackbeard and he has Booty. So like he has a way to get his engine online. And he has Angler and Ogre. So he has a hand trap and evenly a way to start his plunders. My hand, I have like a good hand. Honestly, this is a good hand. Like, this is a really good hand. It plays through. It's like if he Gamma's Kitchen, I just go World Legacy Guard Dragon for her. And then what I can do here is like I can just link in the Heretic Spears. Oh yeah, and then I can like activate Hospitality. Okay, it's like yeah, my hand's good. I could play through I feel like 2 hand traps. If it's Ash and Imperm, I definitely play through both of them. Which is really cool. And I could still at least bare minimum put Heretic Spear. But we're gonna see how this plays through. So minimum, if he has double hand trap, I can at least put up Heretic Spheres. I'm gonna dump Chamber off of Kitchen. Then I'm gonna Guard Dragon for that, so I can grab Changeover. Then I'm gonna summon Show. I'm gonna go Hospitality for Kitchen. Dump her Dragon form, summon Spears. So now I have Shao and Spears. Standby. I'm gonna start snowballing. Chamber to get Hospitality for my follow-ups. So he chooses to not enter battle phase. So if he goes into battle phase at the start of his battle phase, I'm going to use Chamber herself to hand to get whichever Dragon Maid I feel is necessary back to hand. And then if he tries to end battle phase, I'm going to say before you end battle phase, activate Heretic Dragon of Heavenly Spears, tribute itself, bounce Guard Dragon to hand. I don't use this effect on a separate chain link to summon, and now I literally only have Shao on my field. That's it. No. I have Shao and the high level dragon that I summoned off Chamber. So all I do is lose one of my high level dragons for his evenly. He wastes his battle phase and he still doesn't bait my negate. So like I guess that's probably what he saw, because I saw that. I was definitely gonna play around evenly. Like having Spheres and Shao definitely plays around evenly and Lightning Storm respectively, which is really good. So he's gonna hard summon Mork. And I'm just gonna bounce it. I'm really not concerned about that. I'm just gonna bounce that, and he scooped. So like, yep, that's it, you guys. So that's gonna be it for the video. I did not get to showcase you guys the duels against Orcus. I 2-0'd Orcus 2 times in a row, nor the duels against Numeron Eldritch or Megaliths or Infernobles or Dragma Necros or Dinos or Dragma Dinos. So if you guys are still curious about those, definitely let me know. I do love Dragon Maids. I don't mind doing more Dragon Maid content. I did lose to Dragma Dino. I beat the other Dino. Wait, let me see. Let me make sure, because I don't want to be lying, honestly. Let me make sure. It went to game 2. Did I get 2-0'd or did I 2-0 him? Let me just go to quick animation. I'm kind of curious now. Quick animation. I'm not even gonna like commentate. Let me just see what I'm doing here. If I got this combo set up and I have cleanup plus droplets, I should win this duel. Okay, Dark Ruler, yeah. Oviraptor, okay. I'm just curious, you guys. I want to see, like, did I beat Dinos? I'm trying to remember. I have Droplet and Tidy, so, like, oh my goodness. Just use these in battle phase, right? So, okay. He's definitely comboing. He's gonna go Nalakia, he's gonna go Kill. Ah, that's why he went into Lakia. Because in case I have a trap in battle phase, he negates with Lakia. That was really smart. So he's gonna Conductor in main phase. So at the start of his battle phase. No, he's not done. Oh, he doesn't want me to have an extra deck either. So at the start of his battle phase, I'm gonna Droplet his whole board. Then I'm gonna clean up for his LP. For my LP, so I can get access to my extra deck again. I'm gonna flip Show, and he's gonna Scoop. I was definitely gonna play through both Conductor and Logia, easy peasy. Flip Show, if you negate, because it is a flip summon. It did say on the text flip summon, you have to negate it with Logia. Because if you don't now, Conductor gets negated by Shell, because you definitely, yeah. So like he negates this with Logia, that gets negated. Alright, that's a bet. And then I just use Cleanup to resummon Shao, so now I can play through Conductor. So just Shao and my Graveyard Cleanup already Dang, I made a huge comeback. He made that fat board, and I just... Dang, Dragon Maids. I'm gonna say a quick prayer and I'll be out, you guys. Dragon Maids, you guys see how fire this deck is. You guys should definitely be on this deck. This deck's so good, so skillful, it's amazing. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth, just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord, and please forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power, forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you, Father. Amen. Alright, you guys, peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Deuces!